Newzroom Afrika talks to women of influence in society, business, farming, mining, the arts and other sectors in celebration of Women's Month. Today we take a look at women in law enforcement. Joining me now is Airborne Law Enforcement Officer Zoliswa Kabini and crime scene expert Colonel Lindiwe Khuzwayo. A pleasure to have you both on the program. Colonel Lindiwe Khuzwayo, I'll start with you. Speak to us firstly about how your journey in crime scene investigation started.
The journey in the organization Sehume, it started in 2005. But the journey for the crimes as a crime scene expert started in 2010 when I was working in the office, the local criminal record center in Durban. And then I moved and then worked in the national office, crime scene management in Pretoria, where I am currently at. I am currently the commander of priority crimes under crime scene investigation and crime scene management section.
What would you say are some of the personality traits that one ought to possess and the characteristic traits, especially in this kind of industry?
In this kind of industry, I would say it's a masculine dominated environment that will need a person to actually love the job that they are doing, to be determined, to be bold, because I know it's one of the traits that is normally given to men, to be bold. So it needs a person to be bold and also be determined so that they can be able to do their job with ease and also professionalism.
Sergeant Kabini, let's let you into the conversation as well. You are an airborne law enforcement officer. Just speak to us about what the job entails and how your journey in aviation began.
Okay, airborne law enforcement officers, we actually giving support to the operational members that are working on the ground. So these operations, they rotate from we do search and rescues. We also work with the high profiled like we also work with the other units that are working with high risk crimes, like special task force unit, counter assault, TRT, POPs. We also specialize in high crimes such as robberies, hijackings, and heists.
So it sounds like a very specialized industry. Just speak to us about, especially for those who want to get into aviation as well, what kind of qualifications are important to consider here, or what kind of studies should young people be looking at?
Okay, actually with my specialized units, where I am the airborne enforcement officers, you just have to have 3 years experience in the operational, like working at the police station, and then you can be able to join the airborne law enforcement officer.
Colonel Khuzwayo, let's bring you back into the conversation. Now, you make up just one of 387 female crime scene examiners in the country. Talk to us through what your work entails.
As crime scene experts, we attend crime scenes where we collect the evidence at the crime scene for the purpose of sending it to court. So when we get to the crime scene, we document the crime scene. We use different types of technology that we have in the environment to document the scene. We collect, we package, we preserve the evidence, and then we send it to our different forensic laboratories that we have in the country for further analysis.
Speaking about cases that are brought to court, this information that you bring, how critical is it, especially when it comes to determining the outcomes of particular cases?
It is very critical because the crime scene is where evidence is gathered. If that evidence that is gathered at the crime scene is damaged or something happens to it, then it doesn't get to where it's supposed to be. Then the court depends on that evidence that you gather at the scene to be able to prosecute the perpetrators. So if they don't have the evidence that we collect from the crime scene, then they won't be able to know what happened at the crime scene. So it is very critical for us to gather important evidence to assist the detectives to be able to take proper evidence to court so that the court will be able to prosecute.
Sergeant Kabini, your industry, like many others in this country, are still male-dominated. Just speak to us about those disparities in terms of men still continuing to dominate the space.
Yes, they still continue to dominate the space, but I see more women are coming. Like, I'm the last group of women that joined at the Airborne Law Enforcement. We were 5 at the time when we joined in 2018. So we actually growing the industry as well as women, and we really like and we really love this job because it looks difficult outside, but as you are in, and you can see that it's very easy. You can do it. We even do it more than men.
So COVID-19 has posed a number of challenges for almost every industry in this country. Speak to us about some of your experiences during this period since the outbreak began back in March last year.
Yeah, it has affected a lot of us, especially in the SAPS as a whole. People getting tested positive and people dying. But where I am at the moment, we haven't experienced much difficulties because we are not exposed more to people, unlike in the police stations and all that. So we're more safer because we fly high and we don't just land anywhere. So we didn't face much challenges during this COVID-19.
Sergeant Khuzwayo, a similar question to you. What experiences have you encountered during this period?
Yes, as it is already been alluded, yes, we have experienced a lot of deaths and people are being affected by COVID because our job actually makes us being in contact with a lot of people because we go to crime scenes, we go to people's houses where there's housebreaking, so we meet a lot of people in our line of duty. So yes, it did affect us a lot.
Sergeant Kabini, as we wrap up, I want to get a message from you, especially to young girls who wish to get into fields similar to yours. What kind of words of inspiration would you like to share, especially as we commemorate Women's Month?
I would like to say to the other women that wish to join the industry, you need to be brave. You need to believe in yourself. You need to work hard in order to get wherever you want to be. So, you know, as women, we always plan, we always consult, we always communicate before we do things. So that's what actually makes us even stronger. So, and I also believe that women should be given opportunities to lead in the front line based on our experiences and education, so that we can ensure a better and safer South Africa. So as women, we need to encourage each other, support each other, and don't be scared to explore in life. Don't be scared to also come up with new ideas in any workplace that you are in. So we just need to be positive at all the time and support each other.
Colonel Khuzwayo, I'll give you the last bite as well. What words of encouragement would you like to share with young women?
Firstly, I'd like to salute all the women who are in the male-dominated industries. I'm saying to them, keep it up, keep fighting, keep the wheel rolling. And then to the women that are not yet in that level, I'm saying to them, please be motivated. Please join the circle. Let's keep it moving. Let's make our voices heard in the male-dominated industries, and also let's break those gender boundaries, gender stereotypes that are actually promoted in our society. Let's break those boundaries. Let's make our voices heard and and prosper in whatever we are trying to do. Let's not look down upon ourselves. Let's be encourage and also encourage each other as women, and then also what can I say? Motivate each other, lift each other up. Let's not look down upon each other. That is all I wish to say. And also, lastly, I'd like to say to all the female crime scene experts in the country, well done, Nhlanhla.
Thank you very much. I couldn't have said it better, Nhlanhla. And a reminder that we will continue to speak to trailblazers and women who are doing well in other fields. Later on, we'll be speaking